Hey, shalom. Welcome back to another lesson. Listen and learn with visual cues, directed immersion, and biblical Hebrew. Today we will be continuing our work with the Song of Moses, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 42. And let me just say, may you be blessed in your learning. May your focus all day long be on Hashem, on the Lord. May you find deep and satisfying fulfillment with Lashon HaKodesh, seeing all the gems that there are, and all the enjoyment, and all the amazing spiritual connection there are. Ki ratzon Adonai ki anachnu chalim lilmod tov ba'einecha. All right, let's get started. Okay, so let's just scan the verse first. This is Deuteronomy 32, verse 42. Ashkir chitzai midam v'charbi tokhal basar midam chalal v'shivya meirosh parot oyyeiv. Okay, ashkir. So the verbal root here, let me zoom in on it a little bit. Oh, that was interesting. Shakar, sheen, kaf, resh. Shakar, which means to be intoxicated, to be drunk. Now, this is a hifil. We have our three root letters, sheen, kaf, and resh. And then jammed in between the third root letter is a yod. That's your hint that it's hifil, that it's whatever that verbal root means, to cause to do that, usually, not always. So if shakar is to be drunk, then the hifil is to cause to be drunk. So let's read it with our tones properly. Ashkir. Ashkir. So the O at the beginning is I. I will make drunk. I will intoxicate. Chitzai. Chitzai. So the noun here is ches, that's chet, tzadi, which is an arrow. Chatzim are arrows. Drop the mem. Chatzei, arrows of I. And that becomes chitzai, arrows of I, my arrows. So, ashkir, I will make drunk. Chitzai, my arrows. Midam, midam. So let's look closer. Or listen. Midam, not madam. Middam. So mem and the dagesh, that's min. So it's really the word min from and the word meaning blood. They combine middam. Just like can and not, we can say either cannot or you can say can't. Right? They can combine like that, contract. So Moshe could have written min dam if he wanted to, but he didn't. He wrote mid dam from blood. So ashkir will make drunk. Chitzai, chitzai, the arrows of I, of me. Midam, from blood. Probably something more like with blood, right? I will make them drunk with blood. Vecharbi, ve, and the cherev, chet, resh, beit, the cherev of of me, my sword. Charbi, just like Melech is king, Malki is my king, Cherev is sword, Charbi is my sword. Okay. Sefer is scroll, Safri, my scroll, etc. All those words that are they work that way. So I will make drunk my arrows with blood, literally from blood, Vecharbi, and my sword, tokhal, basar, tokhal. The verb is achal. Aleph, kaf, lamed. Achal. To eat or to consume. And then we have the tav at the beginning means, it could mean you will eat, but he just was talking about his sword. So she will eat asa, beit, sin, resh. She will eat flesh. Flesh. my sword will eat. Don't double translate. Don't say my sword she will eat. Just say my sword will eat basar. It will devour. Perhaps sounds better to fit with the poetic genre. Tokhal basar, and my sword will devour flesh. Okay, let's read that. Ashkir, I will cause to shakal. Shin kaf resh. I will cause to be drunk. I will make drunk. Chitzai, my arrows, midam. Min dam. From dam, from blood. The charbi, and the cherev of my sword, tokhal, it will devour basar, bait, sin, resh, flesh. Midam, midam, from the blood of, and here we have a construct chain, chalal, chet, lamed, lamed. Now, chalal is an interesting word. In this context, it clearly means the slain, right, or the pierced. So, chalal, from the verb chilel, it can mean to pollute, right? Like to pollute a land, to pollute a woman, right? If it's like a rape or something, or to pierce a body, like with a sword, chilel. And so from that you can get chalal is a slain body, coming from the idea of being pierced by a weapon, right? So Hashem saying, I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh. From the blood of chalal, of the slain. But really the image in the Hebrew, even though it's fine to translate slain, but really the image in the Hebrew is of pierced, someone who's been pierced. Veshivya, and shivya. Shivya is a captive. So the slain and the captive. You could actually understand this a little bit differently. There might be a merism happening here. I'm not really sure. Like in English, we could say A to Z, right? I want you to cover all the topics from A to Z. Okay. You've taken the beginning of the set, A, and you've taken the end of the set, Z, and it implies everything in between. It means all of it, right? So if Hashem is saying here, from the blood of slain and captive, I haven't written the commentary. This just seems way to me. It could be in marriage, meaning anyone, whether dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Sorry. I like the guitar part of it. All of it shivya, slain and captive, right? So pierced and survivor. It almost has the survivor, even though that's not the usual word we would use for survivor, but poetically, getting at that. Can you zoom out a bit? For the tokhal, Abarbanel comments that the punishment of the nations will not be a long exile like that of Israel, but a sudden, violent blow. Right? This is what Hashem is going to do to them because of what they did to us. This theme kind of happens again and again in history. When Elohim withdraws his support, when he withdraws his sitra to, his safe hidden place from Israel, when he withdraws Shekhinah his Shekhinah from us, we are left unprotected. Right? It's only up to our own seichel, our own wits about us, what to do then. And the intention is that he allows sometimes that the sages are almost uniform on this opinion that he uses the nations at times to punish us, right? He removes his protection, and then they are able to come in and do what they couldn't do before when he was defending us. But the nations invariably always overdo the punishment. It's too much. It's too barbaric. It's too wicked. It's too worshippers of the moon god like. I was trying to think how to self-censor that word. And so Abarbanel is saying, because of this, in response, Hashem will punish the nations who will punish Israel. So funny that they sometimes think they're doing God a favor when they're doing their wicked actions against our people. But it will be sudden and it will be a violent blow. His his sword, tokhal basar, it will devour flesh. Midam chalil v'shivya. Everybody, if it's a merism, everybody, or else the living and the dead, or else the pierced and the captive, that Hashem himself will take a captive. Meirosh, so that's min. What happened here? Min. Trying to get it where I want it. Try to have you have min, and the new tries to assimilate into the resh, but it cannot, because there are 5 letters which can never take a dagesh. Aleph, ayin, hey, chet, and resh. You cannot double those with a doubling dagesh, a strong dagesh, a dagesh chazak, a dagesh forte, however you learn that if you know the grammatical terms. The dot, that means there's a double letter. So instead, when the nun tries to go in here to the resh, he's rejected, and he comes down over here, and that's what that second dot is. So we could have said min rosh, right? Moshe could have done that, but instead he wanted to contract it, and it worked up above. Above it worked, right? When he said midam, no problem with that one. Here you can do that. You can say midam became middam, and there's a dagesh right there. That's the noon. That's the noon hiding in the dalet. That works because dalet can take a dagesh. What are the letters that can't take dagesh? Aleph, ayin, hey, chet, and rosh. Rosh, resh. Used to look like a rosh. Used to look like a head. But down here, we have a rosh, a resh. My brain tonight. We have the resh. He can't take it. So instead of having the single dot under the mem, we get a double dot. This one, he takes a trip from here. You can think of it like this, down over there. And that's why it's meirosh. From rosh, resh aleph shin, from head, or a chieftain, it can have different meanings, of parot, parot, pei, resh, ha'ayin, cholam vav, tav, if you're just listening. It's kind of weird to translate. It's kind of a weird word. So, pera, okay, there's a kind of mule or whatever, but the basic meaning is unkempt hair, right? Like unkempt hair. We get some of the words for the Shemitah crop come from this, the idea that you just let it grow. The Shemitah year, in the cycle year, you just let it grow. Or the woman's hair, this is done to her hair. If she's a sota, the sota is a woman accused of adultery, would go to the priest, and he'd make the concoction with Hashem's name in it to drink and all that stuff, right? She's a sota, not meaning she's guilty, just if she's accused. She's a sota, and her hair would kind of be unkempt. Oh, there's kind of an interesting anecdote in the Talmud about this. In Tractate Sota, the Talmud says, well, there's this anecdote given that, I can't remember the rabbi who says it, but the anecdote is, if you see a sota along your way, right? So this is back in the day. We don't have this anymore. So basically, you're walking along the path, and here comes a sota, right? If you see a sota, then it's a sign from Hashem to stop drinking alcohol for you. So how would he know he's a sota? Because her hair, it's from this verb. Her hair is unkempt like that. The priest would undo her hair. Any nice trinkets or whatever they take, it's just kind of messy afterwards, right? Again, the sota is just accused. It doesn't mean she's guilty. Because the sages assume that nobody would ever, in their right mind, commit adultery unless their senses had been dulled, right? Because back then, you got the Shekhinah cloud, you got the glory, the fire coming down from heaven, right? Who would break one of the 10 commandments intentionally? Are you crazy? He's gonna get you. When Hashem mithalech, when he walked around with us, itanu, imadnu, different ways to say that, then nobody would do something so insane, right? In fact, there's a general rabbinic opinion that only, it's not the majority opinion, but there is an opinion that a person has to be insane to do lavon, to do intentional sin. They have to be crazy or in a state of craziness or something. So here, parot. This is about some goyim that had hair like this, right? So it's kind of a play on words. Meirosh parot could mean from the head of the unkempt hairs, or from the chief of unkempt hair. Like basically, these are these different types of leaders that they had among some of the goyim. Oyyeiv of enemy. But here, let me show you my comment. Comment's a little bit cleaner. Okay. Ibn Ezra says, from the long-haired enemy chiefs. Long-haired is correct. So he's interpreting as long-haired, not just unkempt. Oh yeah, this is also applied to the Nazir, right? The Nazarite, they let their hair grow, right? When locks go untrimmed in Israel, Judges chapter 5, verse 2, Ibn Ezra references. Note, however, that our sages use this word to create the blessing, he who avenges Israel. Interesting. So it's tied to Hashem. In rabbinic Hebrew, the verb can mean to collect payments. Isn't that interesting? The para, pay, resh, ayin. Or metaphorically, to punish. So that's a later form of Hebrew, right? That's after the near post-biblical Hebrew. Perhaps because one thereby releases someone from the obligation, just like releasing the hair, untying the hair and letting it just kind of flow all about. Now, something interesting about this verse. Tigay, a modern Jewish scholar, comments in the JPS commentary that regarding a cherev, a sword, tokhal, devouring basar flesh, this is a fairly common theme in the ancient Near Eastern cultures. But chatzim, arrows, being drunk from blood, that's unique. So there's something common and something unique here, right? So I like that. Let's read this time you try to translate ashkir, ashkir, ashkir. I will make shakal. I will make drunk. Chitzai, the arrows of me, midam, from blood. Vecharbi, and the cherev of of me, my sword. Tokhal, it will drink. Literally, she will drink. Confused. That form there, the top at the beginning in the imperfect, that could either mean you talking to a man or it can mean she talking about a woman. Those patterns are just the same in biblical Hebrew. Tokhal, she will devour basar, flesh. Midam, from the blood of chalal, of the slain or the pierced, veshivya, and shivya, and captive. Now, presumably, Tigay points out this could mean like captives who were injured, right? So that's why there's blood. Or it could mean that they're executed after capture. Mhm. Meirosh, parot, oyyeiv. Meirosh, from the head of parot, the long-haired or the messy-haired, oyyeiv, enemy. Aleph, Vav, Beit, oyyeiv. How you guys doing? Okay, let me read through it again. This I'll read through at a normal speed, right? And do your best to understand. Ashkir chitzai midam, v'charbi basar, dam chalal v'shivya, meirosh parot oyyeiv. Okay, nice. I think what we're going to do, let's go ahead and do the last verse. Just try to knock it out. Let me do a quick time check here. Yeah. Just knock out that last verse. I probably will go a little bit. Oh, I'm trying to think. Should I knock it out? Should I? I changed my mind. Let's do it justice. Let's do it tomorrow. We'll finish the Song of Moses tomorrow. And this is what we have here. Are there any comments or questions? Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much to all of you for being here, especially the ones who could be here live. If not, leave me a comment down below. I just love to hear from you guys. And I will catch you all tomorrow as we continue with the Song of Moses. We will finish it up tomorrow. Make sure to be getting the chametz out of your house if you keep the Pesach, because we won't be able to do it this Saturday because it's Shabbat. So you need to have the chametz out by Friday, this Friday. All right? Just a nice, friendly reminder. Be well. Shalom, shalom.